It's me, Mr. Referee. This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the cartoon Medabots. Now let's Robo Podcast. Hey there, Joel.
Well, hello, Andrew.
So, did you know that the violent, bloody, stylized animates get their inspiration from the 1962 samurai film Sanjuro due to a mechanical error due to the practical effects? When a samurai is cut down in a showdown scene, he explodes way too much blood than he was actually supposed to, but this scene was so well and the mechanism was broken that they decided to keep the scene. And that is why when somebody in a more violent anime gets hit real hard, they just explode with like blood. So
Yeah.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That is, I feel like as being the bigger anime fan,
Oh yeah.
that's awesome. And
Yeah.
is that a part of your new segment this month we've got called Andrew's Anime Alley?
Ooh. It's more grungy. It's like, hey kid, you want to learn about anime?
Hey, what
Come
you
here.
want? Come down the alley.
You like the Pokemans? And they're like,
I got your Pokemans. Which ones
I
you
got
want?
you Pokemons.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I figured this month we're gonna cover nothing but animes. When we first started this show, we talked about anime and like, is it cheating? Could we just pick any random anime that's like, because it's probably less now that anime is way easier to get your hands on when you live in the West.
Yeah.
But I was like, there are obscure animes out there. Is that cheating? Are we strictly Western cartoons? And now we're like 2.5 years in. I think almost 3 now. I think we hit an anniversary somewhere. I don't remember our podcast birthday.
I think it's been 2 years. Two years.
2 years.
Yep.
Okay. So and then we got a request for an anime. It wasn't this one. That'll be next week. And then Joel and I decided, you know what? Let's just do a whole month of anime. We'll do an anime a month, and then that way we feel a little less. And then maybe later on we'll start taking. And if we get more anime requests, which I'm surprised it took this long for us to get anime covered.
Yeah.
Or a request for one. And so here we are. Welcome to Anime Month as we cover Medabots. And we're going to do a lot of 4Kids TV stuff because I feel like that's going to be in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So without further ado, Joel, let's review that theme song.
Let's hit it.
They're all going to be the dubbed ones. It's all dubbed animes. For you subbed fans out there, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Go get your friends. It's time to battle. More battle. Till you drop. More Medabots. Don't lose control. It's time to make it to the top. More power.
All right.
So, do you think because these are all already animated, all they got to do is dub them, they can spend a little bit more money on the production value of the theme song? 'Cause
Maybe.
that wasn't bad.
No, it's
I mean, definitely like a 7 for me.
It's
It's up there. It's like you don't hate it. I mean, I'm not gonna put it on a Spotify playlist like some anime music, but it's good.
I think it gets you pumped for the
it
anime,
definitely
the
gives you the
cartoon
feel for the show.
that you're about to watch, because this cartoon has high energy
Yeah,
throughout the entire episode.
It's
so
I don't know. Every anime has like a official category, but if there's anything this show is known for, is we've never used the official terminology for anything. Did you know that there's actually a real term for shows that sell you toys?
really,
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. It's always going to be Ronald Reagan, like Reagan shows.
it's going to
for
just
us,
be a
at
Reagan
least.
episode.
I think they're called like toy something shows.
Yeah,
Somebody said it once. They're like, they're actually called that. It was somebody in my personal life, and I'm like, I don't care. I want to. Part of this show's charm is how much we make fun of Ronald Reagan.
Yep. It's
We have
now that you mentioned that, it kind of like, I want to say I've heard that, but the name
Yeah.
of whatever it's called never stuck with me.
Reagan shows better.
Yeah, it's
Fuck
catchier.
Catchier. You damn right. So this anime, before we get into the history of how it's made,
Yeah.
or maybe how it got to the States is pretty easy. This is a child has a funny little dude anime. Much like the most popular version of this anime, Pokemon.
So
That's-
Andrew,
I'm gonna bet money that's probably why this got here.
so let me ask first. Did you watch this? Like when it aired?
Growing up,
Yeah.
loved it.
Okay, good.
Loved
good.
it growing up. Even going back,
Yeah, loved it
not
again.
bad.
Great. Now, did you? How did you think in the standard format of how cartoons, toys, and video games are made around this time? How did you think it fell? Did you think it fell with make cartoon then merchandise, or was it manga adapted into an anime, adapted into games?
That's tough because we have to think about it through the lens of Japanese culture, don't we? Because they do. I mean, they are still a capitalist economic system, of course, but they do things different from us. So I want to say it was maybe I'm going to guess manga first, like a manga, then.
I mean, so you say that, but then again, think about like Pokemon started out
That's
as a
true.
video game, then became
and
manga,
then became a
then an
trading card
anime,
manga.
and everything
true.
else. So they
So
still
maybe they
will
were
follow.
just little. Were they like kid friendly Gundams?
So here's my thing. I always thought it was manga, anime, then video game.
Product. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember playing a version on a Game Boy Advance SP.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was what, like early 2000s at that point.
Yeah.
That's always what I thought it was. No, it is a video game that then spun off an anime and a manga.
Oh, okay.
So the video game, and in Japan it's called Medarot. So instead of Medabot, replace the B with an O. Yeah.
Okay.
It is a role-playing game, basically just a Pokemon clone. It was released on in 97, like November 28th, 97.
Yeah.
So basically 1 year after Pokemon was released, they create a game that is a clone of Pokemon,
Oh, yeah.
and then they make an anime a few years later. But
Okay.
this game, people loved it. It was basically, I guess, people wanted more stuff like Pokemon at that point.
Is this like Pokemon's Coca-Cola and then Medarot would be like Pepsi?
Yeah,
Like, hey, do you want to feel a little like morally better because they're robots and they don't have feelings?
What? Let's say it's more like the generic brand of soda of Coke.
Okay, so Medabots is like Doctor.
Like Dr. Thunder.
Peppercorn or some Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob of like
exactly. It's like it's never going to compete with Pokemon, but it's a good alternative.
So I see that this made it to ABC in 2001. So this is when you and I would see it. Pokemon has already got its death grip on the Western nation. It's still there. There are others.
Yep.
But this one's king of the 10-year-old with a funny little dude type show.
Yes.
And so like, when we covered Fighting Foodons, that was another one.
Yep.
That was, another Pokemon. They're everywhere. There are hundreds of thousands. And although I'd say Fighting Foodons is like I don't know what brand of soda that would be. A gas station exclusive brand soda.
And you know what's
You'd
funny?
have to go way out your way.
It's we've covered some other animes on here. You think about like what was it? Space Ranger and the Star Sheriffs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, but those animes were never like targeted with this type of marketing. It was always for action figures.
This is for children.
But it's for this video game, this gotta collect them all.
Yeah, it's a collection thing.
Because it's so easy when you've got that formula to then spin off animes, to spin off like trading card games.
Oh, yeah.
Shit that kids will just buy.
Oh, yeah. Just like these are merchandise juggernauts. You can't. I mean, like this one probably got pretty far as it's concerned. But if you think about like Pokemon, there was so much Pokemon merchandise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dialed back. There's still a lot, but I would say it's dialed back from what it used to be. There was a Pokemon Marble game. I know because I still have the launcher.
I remember
have the giant Pokeball Marble launcher. It's all corroded because it's old as fuck, like me.
Dude,
but yeah.
I played the tabletop simulator on Steam here recently, and they had the original like Pokemon board game from like 98. And I remember I played that board game so much to where like the cardboard edges were like coming apart. I was playing that game so much. Like
But let's get back on track to Medabots. So we're not talking. We could talk about Pokemon.
It's so similar because it literally was just that off-brand Pokemon. Now, the anime, it's pretty interesting because from what I can tell, the anime that we know as of on Fox Kids TV is only, I think, one season. I think all 52 episodes ran in the US on Fox Kids. And that ran from July 2nd, 1999 to June 30th, 2000. Now, there was a second Medabot series that we never got in the US that ran basically as soon as that one ended, this next one picked up. Well, it was. It was done by two different studios. But I am kind of upset that, we never really got to see much of that.
Yeah.
But really what happened is those released in Japan, our good old friends up north in Canada, Nelvana, you'll remember them from the great movie Rock and Roll. Almost
Oh, yes.
Almost-
Rock and roll.
almost busted the company.
They
Well-
only had enough money to do Medabots.
Okay, I think it made them some money while Medabots was over here because show comes over here. It actually kind of starts blowing up. Originally aired on Fox Kids, starting in 2001, and then about a year later, ABC then got it to run on their networks.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yep. But
So when it comes to these shows,
that's kind of it. So
yeah, with animes especially get from a business sense, it's genius. You know
It
what I
is.
mean? Like you don't have to animate it. You just have to make it in English.
that's it.
And for kid shows, especially, you don't even have to dub it that well.
No, you don't.
So, although I will say, watching this show, pretty good dub. For what it is, pretty good dub.
Now, do they? Because this is 2000, early 2000. Are there any voice actors that maybe we've seen them on anything here recently?
No, you're not getting your typical. Maybe Darren Frost. I remember his name,
Okay.
but we're not getting any of the big hitters in the anime community because I feel like right now, anime is dubbed in the West by like it seems like the same like 14 people do every single one.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because I'll watch Demon Slayer and I'll watch My Hero Academia. I watch them subbed, but every once in a while I'll be dicking around on TikTok and you'll get like an anime clip and it'll be dubbed, and I'm like, that guy Piccolo is like 30 people in like several different animes, or the guy who voices Piccolo. I don't know his name. off
Hey,
the top
good
of my
for
head.
him, man.
Yeah, he's getting work. Not a lot of range. Everybody just sounds like Piccolo, but I guess if you're known for that, that's what you do.
Hey, you just gotta have a gritty voice. Hey, we just
Yeah.
need that gritty, tough guy.
So, without further ado, the voice cast for the dub of Medabots, we're not doing.
No,
I'm not butchering all these respectable Japanese people's names. Not if I can help it. So, Ikki Tenryou is Samantha Reynolds. Medabi is Joseph Medaki. Erika Amazake is Lisa Yamanaka. Brass and Samantha are Susan Dalton. And finally, Sloane is Darren Frost.
okay.
For their other works, we have. So it looks like a lot of these people didn't get a lot of acting work after this. So Samantha Reynolds is additional crew at Repo the Genetic Opera.
All right.
Joseph Modeki is Uncle Otis and Paw Patrol.
All right.
Lisa Yamanaka is Fizz in the dub of Tweenies, which is a puppet
What?
show.
Okay.
She was the hardest person to find, so she's not on the usual spots. Sarah Dalton is Jamie Crawford in Tychus.
All right.
And finally, we have Darren Frost is Harold in Total Dramarama.
Oh, the
Oh, here you go. He's also Kubo in Bakugan Battle Planet. That should be an anime we cover at some point.
Bakugan.
The Marble anime.
Oh, man.
So let's get into this show.
Yes.
This show, like we said, this is a 10-year-old boy has just a companion of some kind. And this one, it's a robot. I love animes in shows in general where the whole world revolves around one thing.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
and like, it's like, you know, with Pokemon, like the whole entire infrastructure and economy is Pokemon.
Yep. They actually give them jobs and
Yeah, they have
things like
some,
that, yeah.
like in the games, it's just all about battling. But as the series has progressed, like there were Pokemon, like they were like dog shows, but Pokemon.
yeah.
You could do talent stuff. You could all sorts of things. This is the same thing. The year is 2122. Everybody's got a Medabot. Not everybody uses them for Medabot battling, but Medabot fighting is the number one thing to do with them.
There was no.
And it's really funny. Like everyone has them.
Yep.
Everyone. And basically, it's like owning a sentient gun. Medabots, specifically, his special move is like scatter missiles. And this, a 10-year-old child just has one.
I like to think that they are rubber bullets. Okay.
Rubber missiles.
With yes. Rubber missiles.
I was about to say, what about the ones with flamethrowers?
Yeah.
Or electrical shock?
I
There's one with like big fucking spike balls. Like,
yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
So-
Yeah. Yep. Just little death machines walking around.
yeah, they are basically, they're not basically, they are walking war crime.
Yes.
Just all over the country of Japan. And you can go to the store. It's almost like, not to get political here, but it's almost like how people describe the gun problem here. Like you can just go to Walmart and get any kind of gun you want. You can, in Japan in 2122, you can just go to, Icky gets Metabee from a convenience store. Like, he didn't even go to the department store. He goes to, like,
A 7-Eleven.
he goes to 7-Eleven and gets a missile-shooting robot
Yep.
that looks like a beetle.
Yep.
So, but before he gets that, Icky is the only kid who can't get a Medabot.
because
Because he's broke.
yep.
So unlike Pokemon, where you just go out into the forest and
You just
grab a bird and make them fight for you, you gotta it's pay to play in the Medabot world. If you don't
Capitalism,
got
man.
that cash, oh man, this is, if you're an ultra capitalist, this is your anime. Because if you ain't got the coin, it ain't happening.
you ain't got the cheddar.
You better get better. So he's broke. And so eventually he finds, the whole series starts out with this. I laughed my ass off. This series starts in the most hilarious way
It's
possible.
fantastic.
So all Medabots are powered by this little, they call it, in the dub, they call it metal. And it's a little octagon shaped chip. Or no, it's a pentagon. It's not a square or a circle. Okay, give me a break.
It's a pentagon, I believe.
So they put it in the back of your robot's head, and that's their brain. That's their soul. I remember this because in the first episode, they name the 3 most important parts of the Medabot about 50 times. You have the skeleton, you have the metal frame, which is like the skeleton of the Medabot. You have the armor, which is like the muscle and skin of the Medabot.
Ooh.
And then you have the metal, which is like the soul.
Oh.
You hear that about 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I think this is a kind of like a subs versus dubs debate. But I feel like when this is in actual Japanese, they don't say it that much. They maybe say it one time and they move on. And another thing that always bothers me about really shitty dubs, I call them however dubs. Or in other words. So they'll say one thing and then they'll go in other words and then just reiterate it. And I'm like, how dumb do you think the audience is that you just told them?
Look, you got to make up a lot of screen time. There's a lot of those monologuing, and over here,
you're right.
We ain't got that education enough to monologue like that, I guess.
But anyway, so it starts off with the security team for Medabot Industries is like transporting this rare metal, and then this mass thief steals it, and he's hanging off of a bridge, and he's like, "Ha ha ha! Those suckers! I got it. With this, and then he drops it, and they shows him like struggling to try to catch it, and it falls in the river, and he can't, and." That's where Icky comes in later in the episode and he finds it.
Yep.
He goes to the department store and he gets some plot happens with his friend
Henry.
Is it Henry?
Henry, yep.
Yeah, Henry gets ambushed by some bullies. He gets Medabots, and Medabots doesn't do anything at first, and then you realize that Medabots, he's the special one. He's special because he's got this metal in him and it can't eject and all this other stuff. All I want to say, Joseph Madaki has best voice actor for a sassy robot.
Oh yeah,
ever. I love Medabots in the dub. There's nowhere to watch the sub, as far as I know. I watched this on Tubi. Joel, you watched this on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Did you sub it or dub it?
No. There, from the research, because I wanted to watch it sub, just because I remember how campy and ridiculous the dub felt, and all the research I could find was. You can't find it sub. No one has ever made a sub. There's been no fan subs or anything like that made. So it's all dubs for us, sadly.
So let's talk a little bit about the voice acting in this. For the most part, they all sound like kids.
Yeah.
And the localization jokes on point.
Yes.
My favorite one. It's like it's episode 2 or 3. Medabots is at Icky's house and he's reading the paper. And Icky comes up. He goes, Medabots, why are you reading the funnies? And he just looks at her and goes, because your dad's got the sports page. And goes, it just cracked my ass up. The best running joke is obviously anytime you have a robo battle, which is what they call them fighting. You have to have a referee.
A official referee.
Yeah, you have to have an official referee. And they can be in the middle of an alley. They can be in the middle of the ocean.
It is like, it's like the moment you agree to a battle, time stops. And then in some space in between, I guess space and time, I feel like there was the citadel of referees, and they get a message. Oh no, we got another battle. Send them away.
It's like Ghostbusters. We got one.
Because he will be everywhere and anywhere all at once. Come out of the most random places.
Best one in my opinion is the one they're at the construction site And they go, okay, we're gonna robo battle. And they go, well, we need a referee. And Super Mario Brothers comes up from a concrete cylinder. And he goes, I'm Mr. Referee, and I'm here to officiate this. It's like, was he waiting? Did he actually warp pipe there? Where was he? I love it. That's the best running joke in the hit. Is it like Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny, where it's just a bunch of guys who look like the same guy?
So I'm gonna say no because it's because of my favorite one, and it's one I can't remember what's going on in the episode, but he gets hit by like a car, and they actually show the ambulance taking him away, and like in that same episode there's another battle, and they make that joke kind of like, oh, well, we can't have a battle without the referee. And then you see a man coming in with like a sling and like his foot in a cast and a crutch.
Awesome.
And it was like,
so it is just one guy.
And he's just dedicated.
That's a busy man.
But they do have multiple referees in that universe. Because if you notice in the TV, the one sports battle, like the national championship they showed on TV, there was a referee there, but just some average looking dude. Not, miss referee.
My only stipulation with the Medabots, so if we're going to do like a Medabots versus Pokemon kind of deal, it seems like Medabots is more of a pay to play. Well, one thing I like about Medabots is it's kind of like a pink slip race,
it's
like street
awesome.
racing. It's like pink slip. So if you lose and your Medabot loses, they get to pick a part off of them.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, I remember it wasn't a Medabot game or a Medarot game. It was just I was another robot game. Same premise. You win, you get their stuff.
Yeah.
And I like that. I really wish there were more games. Like, I wish this game would make a comeback, because we haven't mentioned this yet. The robots, the Medabots themselves, really cool designs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're not all winners, of course.
Yeah.
Same with anything that has 100 little guys.
Yep.
All sitting in a row. Not all of them. You know, there's always going to be the one that's a half a carton of eggs.
Yeah.
Or
just that.
But for the most part, and I feel like it's because they're robots, you can do a lot more. And robots are always cool.
Yeah.
It's hard pressed to like go be like, hey, think of something with robots that suck. And you're like,
yeah, no, robots. You already know it's going to be kind of a slam dunk.
Yeah,
unless you just really f it up somehow.
Yeah, and it's a pretty. First of all, it's a very gender neutral franchise, which is probably why it got the axe in the West. So the West has this really bad problem of gendering their program, especially merchandise.
Yeah.
There are several examples of shows that are to sell you things, and they're like, okay, this is for boys, this is for girls, and if girls start getting interested in it, for some reason, instead of taking their money too, they'll just axe the whole project. A really great example of this is the original Teen Titans animated series.
Yes.
That only got axed because girls started watching it. Nobody in the real world, not marketing world, understands what kind of move that is. Why'd you even put girls on the team?
Yeah, no one cared too.
None of the
fans.
That's my theory of why maybe it could be numbers. But I find it hard to believe that robot fighting in 2000, when we had actual robot fighters on the Sci-Fi Channel, did poorly.
I think there was a number of things. Because I was thinking about this as well. Because the anime, to me, looking back at it, is hilarious. It's a fun watch. Like, I did not
bad animated either.
No, and honestly, the whole reason I pushed for this episode is because I was just watching this in my free time to begin with.
Yeah.
And I wanted someone else to talk about this show with. But I think I started thinking about this and I was like, you know what? I bet you if they did not make the world so realistic where they still have to go to like schools and do homework, I bet you it probably would have lasted a lot longer.
That's a very good point. Like they don't go on adventures, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like shit happens to them when they're on a field trip, but for the most part, they kind of just stay in their little part of the town.
It's very it's almost like Peter Pan-esque Pokemon, where it's you go off and you're by yourself. I mean, Ash is 10 and he leaves home never to see his mom again. Basically.
Yeah, he goes back to visit his mom.
Yeah, but
maybe once or twice.
But it's like, I don't know, I feel like kids, they kind of want to read about stuff like that or watch about stuff like that.
They want the fantasy of not like, it's like when you don't want to read a manga where Goku does taxes.
No.
You just want to see him train, you want to see him fight. Like yeah, maybe every once in a while he has to go get his driver's license, but not every episode.
I knew you was going to bring that one up.
Best filler ever.
But that's my thought. Because if you look at this, you go back and you watch this show. Even I remember liking the game that came out on the Game Boy Advance.
Right. See, I didn't play it. I didn't play any of the games, but it started off as a game and has tons of them.
And think about it. It's like Pokemon, so it's just this kind of turn-based, my Medabot's going to verse your Medabot, but just like in that cartoon, you get a piece of their item. So it's like, it's just customizing your robot to do different attacks. What's not to love about that, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's definitely a slam dunk.
But and I think it also it was bad timing. I think people got burned out on Pokemon at this point.
Yeah. I can see another. So curiously, you wonder sometimes, you're like, why hasn't this made a comeback?
Yeah.
Right? It seems like, so a lot of the animes that we're going to cover this week, I feel like they had everything to be like popular, like super popular.
Yeah.
Like all four of them. Well, maybe not one of them. I'll let you guys guess which one that is. But I feel like, at least with Medabots, I agree with you. This had the making to be big, huge even. And it just didn't, for the powers that be, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. I feel like why we haven't seen maybe a resurgence of anything. So since 2017, the publisher Imagineer have had multiple court battles against Andoran, Kevin Combrand, over the rights of the name Medabots. Commanderin had managed to gain the rights to the name, as Imagineer hadn't used the name in a while, which caused Imagineer to sue them. They have failed multiple times, however, with courts finding in favor of Commanderin. This has also caused Imagineer to be unable to release Medabot games outside of Japan. So,
that's it.
You know Japanese and you got an emulator, you could probably get them.
I've seen some people, of course, just go to like eBay in Japan. Just change your region and you can buy it that way or find an auction. And I've actually watched some of the gameplay. Honestly, just looks like a Pokemon clone. The only odd thing, and I would almost say if you can put this on TikTok or whatever it is how the Medabots run in the animation of the game. It almost looks like it's almost like early video game physics where they try to say, hey, the wrist and the elbow are going to just be like free flowing and all the action is like up at the shoulder. So like it just looks like they're running around with like wet noodles for limbs.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little unsettling. But besides that,
so
Pokemon clone.
Yeah. So Joel, I believe it's time to move to your new reoccurring segment, reviews that meta rock and reviews that meta rot.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm
a professional entertainer. I get paid to do this. We made a whole $1 last month.
Heck yeah. So, Andrew, I could not find any really low reviews. I found a 10 out of 10, though. So that's what we're going to get.
Okay.
It's titled, I will give it no less than 9. The show is a masterpiece. Sure, it might be just the nostalgia of me watching it with my grandma 10 years ago, but I have to say it's worth it. As a teen today, I've watched all 91 episodes, and damn, it is better than I remember. Of course, the first 2 seasons have a great story and a suitable ending, although I would like to see more about those aliens. The 3rd season got me off guard. The only thing I hated was removing characters that were main in the story. Like, why do you have to remove Karen off the show? If we pass the fact that most of our beloved sub-main characters got thrown away, the continuation of the show was okay, I can say. The ending satisfying, plus touching, and the style same as the first 2 seasons. I'm looking forward to Medabot fans. I am looking forward to Medabot fans until this day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So this show definitely has its audience. It definitely is something that I think you can go back to this and have a really great time.
Oh yeah.
Just to I'm pretty anti nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because of how it's used in today's market
very freely.
But I feel like this is one that you can go back and you're like, one, it's kind of nice to go back and watch old anime.
Yeah.
To see how far they've come in new anime. Like you watch this and then you go watch Demon Slayer. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
What growth in such a short amount of time. But also it's funny. It's really funny.
It is.
Those jokes still land, and they're not weird translation error jokes or like, because a lot of the time they'll make a joke about the salary man, and we don't have that reference here.
Yeah.
We have the working stiff, but like there's salary man jokes that like, and that just go way over our head because we just don't have that kind of subculture here.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
And this one does a good job of making the jokes work. And if you have a kid, definitely watch it.
Look.
Unless they want a Medabot. Because those toys are going to probably be really expensive on eBay.
And, we all have those shows that we'll kind of just, we'll put on, in the background and do something else.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a great one. It's dubbed. Just sit there and, you can kind of watch it. I guarantee you, if you start doing that, you'll find yourself stopping what you're doing and just watching it. Because
Absolutely.
it happened to me so many times.
Fights aren't that bad either.
No, it's like you said.
I mean, it's old school, but they're not that bad.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, Joel, I believe that wraps up Medabots.
What a good
and
one.
the first show of our Anime Month extravaganza.
Yeah.
If you have a request for a show, you'll have to wait because I'm going to mention our Patreon first. If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have a $5 tier that gets you pins, stickers, access to our Discord, and bonus episodes. We have a website, cartoondumpsterdive.com. There you can request a show, request anime, request us to go interview someone, request 2 animes to go head-to-head in our Junkyard Brawl. We have a Twitter handle, CartoonDD. We have a TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, all Cartoon Dumpster Dive. And as always, thank you for giving us a 5-star review on the podcasting platform of your choice. It always helps out the show. Have a meta-rific rest of your week.
See you.
I'm going to try to do my best Mr. Referee impression.
I, Mr. Referee.
Oi, Mr. Referee! Fuck. I started that with no knowledge of what I was actually going to say.
This has been a Lughole podcast.